Before we continue solving problems involving surds, I want to just quickly review the surd laws. That is, the laws that surround how surds operate with each other and what happens when you multiply and divide and square them. The first law that we're going to look at is this one here. The square root of a all squared equals a. Now, some of these laws, when they're written in algebraic form, can be kind of confusing. So what we need to do is we need to break it down and, I guess, unpack it to understand what it's saying. If we have a look here, we've got some number a. We're finding the square root of it, and then we're squaring it, and the result is a, the same a that we started with. So if I take a number, for example, 4, and I find the square root of 4, the square root of 4 is 2. I'll just write here that I'm taking the square root. Square root of 4 is 2. That's doing this part here. And then square that answer. So 2 squared is 4. 2 squared means 2 times 2, or 4. Then, hey, I ended up with the same number that I started. That's what this is saying. If I take some number, find the square root and square it, I end up with the number I started with. Okay, same a, same 4 going on here. So basically that's just saying that square root and squared are kind of the opposite of each other. And that doesn't sound particularly groundbreaking or anything like that, but it can be helpful in some situations. For example, if I took a number like 3 and I find the square root of 3, what's the answer to that? I mean, we've already seen that that number is not a nice number. It's some horrible long decimal. But I actually don't need to know what that number is at all to know that if I square whatever that horrible number is, I'm going to get back to 3 again. So if you see an equation like this one, square root of 3 squared, if I see that somewhere in algebra, I don't have to work out the square root of 3 and then square it to know that, well, the answer is just going to be 3. I don't have to know what this intermediate step is, what the result of the square root of 3 is. I can just say, well, that's square root and that's squared. They're kind of just going to undo each other, and I'll end back at my 3. So that's what this rule is saying. We can actually even reverse this around. We can change the order of the two. If I take a squared and find the square root of that, that's also going to be a. And you can see that pretty clearly. Pick a number for a, say 4. Let's square it. And 4 squared is going to be 16. Find the square root. And I'm back at 4. So this index law can sometimes, surd law can sometimes also be written in this form here.